I'm in the game still rapping at a high capacity. If Nas wants to smoke, come in the booth. I will rap
He don't want
circles
no
around.
smoke. He enjoying that 150 million, 200 million he done
Okay
made.
then, so then leave me alone while I'm on the field.
You was effing with him. He wasn't bothering you.
Jones was never better than Nas. Jim Jones will never be better than Nas. And this is coming from somebody that's not a Nas fan. I love Dipset. I love the Diplomats. I love Bird Gang. But we not about to start rewriting history because Jim Jones got confidence.
Who Nas is. If he's 22, he's born in 03.
Not all.
Jim Jones pulled up to Shannon Sharpe's show and said something wild. He claimed he's not just relevant, but more influential than Nas himself. More important to the culture. That line alone flipped the whole internet upside down. But 50 Cent? He didn't say a single word. No shady caption, no diss track. He just posted an old federal transcript on Instagram and kept it pushing. Let the streets do the math. Now the internet's deep diving into wiretaps. Old interviews are getting reposted. And out of nowhere, Jim's in the gym yelling into his phone, dropping sneak disses like he's gearing up for lockdown. But don't get it twisted. This isn't just about Nas. And it definitely ain't just about pride. This move from 50 feels like a reminder, a warning. Like he's silently telling the whole industry who's really untouchable and who got real lucky dodging indictments. Jim might have been trying to flex, but now he might have kicked off something way bigger than he expected. And let's not forget, anytime Jim Jones brings up Nas, it always stirs the pot. Because this beef didn't just pop up last week. Nah, this goes all the way back to 2002 when Nas went off live on Hot 97, randomly calling out Cameron and clowning his album as whack.
Never got to see Nas. I never got to sit down and have a conversation with Nas and things like that. I had called you about it and things like that. That was like still one of the people that I never got to have a conversation throughout my history of rap and things like that. I think I would love to have a conversation with Nas. I wouldn't know if he knows it, but Nas was one of my all-time favorite rappers coming up and things like that.
I've heard you say that.
Since the barbecue and things like that. Like he really put the whole dope boy rap, crack hustler, get fresh rap into perspective before.
With no real explanation, that was all Dipset needed to hear. They snapped. Jim Jones dove in headfirst, no hesitation. What started as a back and forth turned into a full-blown war on mixtapes. Shots fired. But Jim, he made it personal. He straight up threatened to smack the kufi off Nas and kept that exact same heat on every track he dropped. It wasn't just music anymore. Jim was out for blood. But here's where things get complicated. Truth be told, Jim used to rock with Nas heavy. Just a year ago, he wasn't saying anything slick. It was all love.
I saw a clip on Instagram where a young kid was comparing you to Nas and saying that you got
that's my young boy.
Big hits.
Wow.
Yo, he looked to you. He learned how to wear the BB Simon belt from you. He got his swag. Like, how crazy is that? Because in my era, you know what I'm saying? Nas is like a god. Right?
But somewhere along the line, that love flipped into straight up shade. It all came to a head when Jim showed up on Fat Joe and Jadakiss podcast. And of course, Fat Joe couldn't resist stirring the pot. He lives for the drama. But Jim didn't back off. He leaned in. He was practically itching to go deeper on the topic. And oh boy, he did just that. Out of nowhere, he dropped one of the wildest hot takes in recent memory. Jim didn't just say he's still relevant. He said he's more influential than Nas. We're talking about Nas, Queensbridge legend. The man who gave us Illmatic, God's Son, King's Disease. The man still packing out Madison Square Garden in his 50s.
But Nas' first record, The Barbecue, came out when I was in 11th grade. So Nas was my idol when I was young. Like you did, came to dressing, the wordplay, the music, everything. I was a superior Nas fan. Period. I'd never take that away from him. But then as I got in the game, you got to realize that your rivals would be idols, and not to take anything away from that. I developed my own style and my own lane that these kids start to gravitate towards the same way I gravitated towards Nas when I was younger and things like that. It's a whole different.
That interview didn't just stir the pot. It flipped the whole pot over and lit the stove on fire. Before the smoke even cleared, Jim Jones was already back outside with more to say. Fresh off that viral moment, Jim pulled up to a different platform. This time it was Shannon Sharpe's Nightcap, joined by none other than Chad Okosinko. And instead of walking anything back, Jim came ready to double down. He wasn't trying to clean it up, he was ready to go further. Shannon didn't let Jim coast. He opened the convo with heat, calling it out from the jump. But just when you think Jim's about to ease off the gas, boom, he drops another wild take. Jim started dragging the old Dipset versus Nas drama back from the early 2000s. He said he was a bigger Nas fan back then, but claimed he surpassed Nas in cultural impact.
Jones. No diplomats, no nobody else. Me, Jim Jones. Check my track record, then check everybody else's track record. Then go to the billboards and check all my entries, then check all them entries and shit. And I'm not taking nothing away from nobody, but I hear the comparisons and then be trying to act funny when it comes. No, I've been spanking a lot of this shit about the industry.
Then came the pivot. Jim brought up Nas's fashion, called him one of the flyest ever, but kept looping back to his main argument. Nas doesn't move the streets like I do. And just when you thought it couldn't get pettier, Jim got salty as ever. He even started roasting Shannon for how he dressed. Like bro turned a hip-hop debate into a whole fashion show roast session.
Nas, and I don't care what nobody say. I know I made a little boo-boo when you talk about the sales and all this type of shit. I don't feel like getting into that rhetoric about where I started and where he started.
Well, you said that bullshit.
But listen, Nas was nice when I was in high school. When I was in 10th grade, Nas came out. Nas was dope. We appreciated him.
By now, Ocho was just chilling, posted up like a spectator, watching Shannon Sharpe and Jim Jones go head-to-head.
Came up second to Jay and DMX and all these other people. Like,
Ain't no shame in that. There's a lot of folks came up second to Tom Brady.
He never had that type of influence on us, except for his first album. I already told you, I used to want to dress like Nas because he had a lot of fresh clothes that the hustlers used to wear, and we used to see him on TV. He had one of the illest albums of all time. And then in high school when he had the barbecue and shit like that. So I'm a real fan of Nas, but he kind of lost me after Bell the movie.
T wasn't a podcast anymore. It was a verbal boxing match. They were going back and forth about Nas, and then Jim snapped.
50-year-olds in their panties because I said I'm better than Nas.
It don't matter.
Look at you. Look at you.
Nobody from Dipset gonna take you over Nas. Nobody from the diplomats but you.
Hold on, Jim. Hold on.
That shirt too tight.
Hold on.
Jim. You want to go back to I really mean it? I really mean it started. We could go back to the history, bro.
He accused Shannon of only bringing him on the show for clout, for views.
At a high level, you check my record,
you jumping up and
I'm still playing at a high level. I'm rapping at a high level. You better check my stats, bro. I will run circles around Nas rapping right. I will run circles around Nas rapping right now. Right now, I will run Saturn around Nas.
That's when Uncle Shannon flipped. He barked back, "This the biggest podcast you ever been on?" And just like that, the vibe shifted from chill interview to straight up showdown.
Biggest podcast you ever been on. You know what podcast you been on better than this one.
Hold on.
I'm not a podcaster.
No.
This is what I do. You see
Name a podcast you been on bigger than this one. When you get big, you get invited to Club Shay Shay.
This is what I do.
Nas get invited.
Shannon turned into a whole opponent. He wasn't playing host no more. He was ready to throw down. And when Jim doubled down and said he was better than Nas, Shannon didn't just check his music catalog. He came for everything. He came for the gym stats. He was like, "Oh word, let's see you prove it in the weight room."
A bag of your clothes, big fella. You too big, man.
You talk about you in the gym. Now you want to get me? You want me to see me in the gym?
Oh, we can do that.
Since you like to talk that inch, now come see me in the gym.
We talking about working out. What we talking about? Working out or strength? What are you talking about? Working out or strength?
Work however you want to do it.
We talking about
since you got money.
If we talking about
put your money where your mouth is.
So you talking about working out? I burn you. You talking about working out? I burn you. You talking about working out or strength? Because you probably can lift a lot more than me.
Whatever.
You're bigger than me. You're probably stronger than me. But if you talk about working out, I burn you.
This ain't what you do. This ain't what you want. You are doing good when you talk about Nas and Jada. You don't want.
Instead of clapping back at 50, Jim tried to switch lanes. He spun it into a fitness flex. He challenged Shannon to a full-blown workout war, thinking he could prove his dominance by outlifting, outtraining, outlasting. But it just felt like a dodge. Meanwhile, 50 Cent was playing chess, silent, calculated. That one little post he dropped was still echoing. And one specific name from that old federal label list is still hanging in the air real heavy. Meanwhile, the audience in the comments was losing their minds. Folks couldn't believe a retired NFL Hall of Famer was the one going hard defending Nas. One fan even said, "Shannon did what Fat Joe and Jada should have done. Jones, you delusional. Shah, thank you for bringing it up." And that's real. Cause why were they so quiet when Jim said all that reckless stuff the first time? While the drama kept escalating, 50 Cent was sitting backstage just peeping the whole mess from the shadows. No laughs, no tweets, no noise, just silence. But just when people thought things couldn't get pettier, Fans unearthed a throwback clip, and it was nasty.